the last episode of the JoJo and Kenzo show
This season.
this season,
This season.
not counting the award show that
Right.
we'll do at some
Yeah.
point.
The
Um,
postmortem.
it sounds like everyone wants Steve Kerr to come back, or at least that's what they're saying.
Quite literally, every player had something nice to say about Steve, it was significant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we basically got exit interviews today. We did everyone except for Draymond, Steph, because they already did theirs. No Seth, no Porzingis,
And no Gary
and
Payton.
no Gary Payton. Seth's at Coachella. I think GP2 and Porzingis they're free agents, so it's a little tricky.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll hop right into it. The big three that we got today. Brandin
Podziemski,
Podziemski. He had
D'Anthony Melton, and Al
and
Horford.
Al
Let's start
Horford.
with
Yeah,
Podziemski.
yeah. It was a pretty good Podziemski press conference. I think this is the most he said all season after a bunch of ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
After kind of not talking to us at length as much this season. He talked about his extension, which Joseph I think you can
Right.
go into.
Yeah. So he signed. The team signed him to like a team option at the beginning of this season, which means he's not going to be a free agent, obviously, this summer, but he is eligible to sign the rookie extension.
Yep.
Now, the question is, how much should he sign for? Look at Nikhil Alexander Walker, who signed, I think it was for 15 million
Yep.
last year, the 27-year-old.
You can look at maybe DiVincenzo, some Christian Braun.
Christian Braun got like
That's the high end of it.
like
Christian
30
Braun.
million a year.
Which I don't know.
I don't think he'd get that. Jabari Smith got 30 million a year.
Yeah.
What is Pods worth? He didn't really say what he thought he was worth, which I'm not surprised at this point. He said, hopefully of course I want to be here long term. It's always special having the team that drafted you. So hopefully we can get something done. AKA we'll negotiate.
We'll negotiate. We'll see. We kind of asked like, do you want to get this done quickly? And it's kind of the same answer. Like, we'll see. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
He did say he watched Kuminga and Moses Moody's contract negotiations, the good and the bad from both of those things, and he's trying to using that to help him figure out the situation. I think if you recall the Kuminga one, that was a lot more tenuous. Lasted all off season, went into the training camp.
Very contentious.
Very contentious.
I don't think, I believe, let me look.
He got his money kind of, just not for long term. So there's good and bad with that. Like he did get paid, but also like it was very tense.
Okay, so he is represented by Bill Duffy of WME, one of the top agencies in basketball. I don't think that Bill Duffy is going to go on an Aaron Turner style scorched earth campaign.
It was on social media saying Twitter finger stuff. But if you remember the Moses Moody one, that was really quick because there's an understanding like this is what I'm worth. I'm not asking for too much, but it's also good for the Warriors because got him on a good long term extension.
How much would you give him? Obviously, we're not saying that we know how much, but I mean, I think 20 million. I mean, beginning of the season, I was saying like 12 million.
There were some moments where I was like
10 million maybe. And now this last month and a half, if this is for real, and Podziemski talked about how he wants to get his 3-point attempts up.
Yeah.
He wants to draw more fouls. He basically, I guess, wants to be James Harden.
He didn't
say that, by the way. He did not say that, by the way. He actually said the stuff that he said was self-inflicted in terms of the criticism. It's a very different Podziemski than what we saw, especially in the year where he was very closed off, very guarded with what he said.
Yeah.
After the vets look up to me, I want to be better than Steph.
Yeah.
Actually, let me pull up. What did he say about? Because he mentioned that kind of the Steph in one.
He straight up acknowledged it because we asked like, "What do you mean by self-inflicted? Could you explain that a little bit more?" And he kind of just said like he totally cleared up those comments. He was like, "Obviously, I'm not going to be better than Steph Curry. I just said that because everyone would want to be better than Steph Curry." And he's kind of said like it's about weighing the confidence with also just trying to be the best version of himself. So overall, like his press conference, his exit interview was very mature.
Okay, so here's the exact quote. Yeah. I think some of the comments I said early on about, wanting to be better and stuff.
Better than Steph,
things like that. Obviously, anybody
would want to be better.
Anybody would want to be better than Steph. I know I'm not going to be better than Steph. He's the only person that can be Steph. So for me, it's about having confidence, but understanding that I'm just trying to be the best version of Brandin Podziemski I can be.
Yeah.
And wherever that takes me in this career I have, that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Which is a very reasonable thing to say.
Yeah, I think just the fact that he's acknowledged like the outside noise and everything. Like at that last game, he acknowledged the 30-point breaking that 30-point barrier. Yeah. I think he's at a good place right now. We'll see what the contract negotiations. I think I know 20 million sounds like a lot of money.
It's not.
It's not a lot of money
That's
for a
NBA
starter
starter
level.
money.
That is starter level money. You want money at that level so you can aggregate it and trade for a star if you need be. And honestly, compared to other contracts, like it's a pretty fair deal.
And I know that we can talk about this more in future episodes. I know that Podziemski is not the greatest athlete in the world,
Yeah.
and I know that he's got some decision making. Some of it is for a guy who makes so many very just nice passes and knows how to move the ball. He makes some really weird decisions with the ball.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's still some untapped potential there. He's only 23. He turned 23 this year.
Yeah.
So or turned 23. I think it was like middle of the season or
like
season.
He's young. He's a pretty young player, and you would think that I don't think like this is his floor right
and he got better this year.
Yeah.
Last year he kind of I think he stagnated. He had that really hot March.
Yeah.
But other than that, kind of stagnated. This year I feel like you could see growth. He started here. He didn't look good,
yeah.
and then through opportunity he was forced to be better.
Yeah. So I think 20 million is fine. If maybe you get a little scared at 25 million, but you should honestly it's probably fine. Moving on to Melton, De'Anthony Melton.
Yes.
He obviously has a big free agency coming up for him, coming off a year where he returned from an ACL injury. We're not really sure what's going to happen with the books in terms of the Warriors because what he could ask for could be out of their range.
He also got a player option. He's going to decline.
He's going to decline it because he's going to get more money. He's going to get long-term money after this season because he showed he could be healthy. Relatively healthy. But yeah, Joseph asked him straight up, "Do you want to come back?"
And he said, "Most definitely, I would love to come back, but I leave that kind of stuff up to my agent and upstairs being
front office.
Yeah, but I would love to." Yeah. So right there, he would like to come back. He fits the offense. The question is, I believe it was Dalton Johnson asked it: would Steve's decision affect your decision to come back?
Because Steve might not come back.
And he said, "I think this type of stuff is just stuff we handle." I'm paraphrasing here. When basically he said, "Okay, when Steve makes a decision, he'll kind of make a decision. The dominoes will fall."
Yeah. So,
AKA Steve makes a decision, everything else kind of falls.
Yeah, everything's kind of revolving around Steve there. But yeah, I mean Melton. I think a lot. The other thing that depends on is what they do with Draymond Green's player option.
Yes.
If he accepts his $27 million player option, one of Porzingis or Melton is not coming back. Now, if they get him to sign a longer deal with more money but more spread out, less hit on the cap, you can probably maybe squeeze Melton in there depending on the market.
Yeah.
So
the question with Melton is he shot 29% from three.
The second part of, or just general.
Just in general, literally in general, he was not a good. Which I always felt like watching him shoot. I thought it was going in. Like he has good form.
It was weird because the process was right. The shots were open, and it didn't look like his shot was broken. And I also thought he hit big threes when it mattered. Yeah. But you look at the percentages, it wasn't great.
He's a career 36% shooter, and that is like a very consistent 36, 35, 38, 37, 40. So I think he is. I mean, I think this year was just an aberration.
That's what I would bet on. If you're a team that wants to sign him. The other thing is he said that his body's feeling good.
Yes, his knee felt good. Back felt
good. So he's healthy. And he like all these players, they complement the training staff. Top tier.
Rick Celebrini, the GOAT.
Yeah, that you talk about other people that's going to get paid. But Rick Celebrini's going to get paid.
Porzingis obviously wasn't here. We would have asked him about free agency. Porzingis basically said he's going to test the free market from he's talked to enough people at this point
to say that he's testing the free market.
Yeah, he talked to Melissa Rowland of Kyle Post.
Yeah, I think he enjoyed his time with the Warriors. Like he talked about the training staff, talked about the players. Like he enjoyed it. But if he wants to get paid, he has to test the market to make the Warriors offer him real money.
Yeah. Which obviously right now I don't know what the market is for him. Like who are the Warriors bidding against? There's
going to be
tripping over them. Who is tripping over themselves?
Sacramento.
Fair point.
There's always some stupid.
And he's a good player. It's just he can't stay healthy. Shoot, he got hit a knee thing that was like kind of holding him out for a second.
That's the thing. Like he looked awesome in that Clippers playing game. And then he was compromised in that Phoenix game because you could tell he was hurt. Like he couldn't play that third quarter and on because of his injury. Ankle. Yeah.
So, it's like every other game is something.
Yeah. So I don't know how much he can get. We'll see. That's kind of a to be determined. Last big player that we talked to today, Al Horford.
Yes. What did Al say? Well, what was the vibe you got from Al?
I think he's coming back next season. He talks about Wang wanting to compete on a title contending team, which the Warriors
which ain't this.
will not be next season.
No.
And also his family's comfort. He said his family loves living in the Bay like 3 times in this exit interview, which I think is significant. So he has a player option also for $6 million around.
Yes, I think so.
I think the vibe is like I don't think he's retiring, but I do think the question is, does he want to take the $6 million and the comfort of his family living in the Bay, or does he want to go contend on another team as like maybe the Spurs or somebody wants to sign a veteran?
Because at this point, it would not be about getting the biggest deal possible. I just don't think there's a market out there for Al at this stage with his injuries and doesn't play back to backs. I mean, he had sciatica, he had a calf injury,
all old man
ankle injury. It was all different injuries. So I mean, will he come back? Will he not come back? Who knows? I mean, he said it's year 19. He said this next week I'll be speaking with Amelia, his wife, and just thinking about everything, kind of seeing what we're doing with our future. So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
So basically, who knows?
Who knows? I think the big thing is like also he still enjoys the process of playing basketball and everything that comes with NBA. So I don't think retirement's on the horizon. It's on the table maybe, but the big decision is stay here, comfort, money versus go chase another ring.
And was there any, just real quick rapid fire, here's who we got. Quentin Post, Guy Santos, Will Richard, Malachi Leons, Charles Bassey, Brandin Podziemski, Pat Spencer, Al Horford, Nate Williams, LJ Cryer, De'Anthony Melton.
We can just go super quick. I think Quinn Post's press conference first is a little sad. I don't know if he's returning.
It gave the vibe of I don't think he didn't.
He's not returning. The news with him also was he tried to rush back, and it created a setback. So we all know what's going to happen there. Guy Santos probably had the best season of anyone on this team. He's very happy. He had the wedding this summer, so that was cool.
New contract, $5 million man.
He's feeling great.
He's feeling great. The vibes were good.
Vibes are great for Guy.
Will Richard, he was tired. Long season. He's a rookie.
Hit the wall.
I mean, the wall. He hit the wall and just
stayed on the wall.
But
not the rest. He'll have summer league. He'll play summer league, which I think is good for him. He needs to play summer league.
He about to dominate summer league.
Yeah, if that's the big thing. It's like I love seeing year 2 players come to summer league and kill it. So I think he's gonna be capable of that.
He'll play 2 games and he'll probably play 2 games of the California Classic, or whatever,
and look awesome.
Average 35. And
just get out of there.
Malachi Leons, I was not in there for that. I had to make a phone call.
There wasn't much. He kind of just talked about like his offseason plans. He's gonna go back to Bradley, get some more training in. Gotcha. I don't know if he'll be back either. Yeah. Charles Bassey, another short one. He kind of talked about just proving himself as an NBA player.
I think he is an NBA player.
I think he's an NBA player. I think the Warriors have some interest in him. We'll see what he comes back as. Probably a 2-way player, I would imagine. Or he just gets signed outright by another team.
Yeah. Pat Spencer, I felt like he obviously gave Steve Kerr his flowers. Says Steve's a journey as a journeyman, basically, and getting to play on these different teams.
Call him a second father.
Now, will Pat Spencer come back? Who knows? He said that's up to his agency. As he's one that he's I think he's a free agent as well.
Unrestricted
free agent. So who knows?
I don't know if he's eligible for 2-way stuff next year.
No, he's not.
Yeah, so like it's either free agent assigned or off to the next thing.
Which I liked Pat Spencer. It would be really funny if he came back and was like media day and he's just boom, he's there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Nate Williams, not much was learned. He was short. He was very short, but he was very confident, man, is what I would say. He's shown himself to be an NBA player in his eyes.
Yeah. A lot of we talked to all the 2-way guys today, and there's a lot.
LJ Cryer said his ankle should be fine to do stuff in like a week.
He's probably another
gnarly injury.
That was a gnarly one. He's probably a summer league candidate.
He's going to light up summer league.
Him and Will it's gonna be great. You're gonna love that.
It's like Clay and Steph 2016.
Yeah.
In Vegas and/or the California Classic.
Other than that, that
was it.
Shit.
So
we still got Mike Dunleavy. We have to hit.
So real quick, Mike Dunleavy is not going to talk to the media until Steve Kerr comes to a decision,
which could be weeks.
Who knows when that's going to happen?
Yeah, I don't think Steve has decided.
Since the last time we did an episode, Anthony Slater's article came out.
Right, a lot to unpack on that too.
A lot of stuff with that about what the ownership would possibly want if Steve comes back. They want a multi-year deal.
They want Steve to show that he still has that hunger. Mm-hmm. They want him coming back not out of obligation to Steph
and nostalgia.
They want him coming back to coach this team and have a real hunger for competition.
Part of me is like, dang, if you're Steve Kerr, would you kind of insulted by the characterization of?
There was some stuff in there that was a little. interesting if you read that as Steve.
Right.
There was other stuff about maybe shaking up the bench and changing up their strategy.
Yeah.
I think they talked about not wanting to rely on 3-point variance next season.
Which
We have, yeah,
I
say
will
it.
say that the reason they rely on threes is because they had no one who could actually break down a defense outside of once Jimmy Butler went down. And Jimmy, even then, he was very selective with when he actually took it to the rim.
Yeah,
Steph Curry can kind of get to the rim still.
yeah.
D'Anthony Melton
No,
was he got like what a month and a half with Jimmy and Steph,
yeah,
kind of because they were all injured at different times.
yeah,
Who is taking it to the rim? There was a point where Pat Spencer was their
yeah.
best rim creator.
Penetration, yeah.
Like
I think this is the big thing.
It's a personnel
It's a
issue.
personnel thing. Like for the people that watch the Valkyries, it's the same thing. It's like when you have the personnel, you shoot more threes because the math is three is better than two.
Yeah.
And like if you hit more threes than you do twos, you're gonna win. So that was a weird point that was in Slater's article. The stuff about shaking the bench is interesting. So
I can see that.
I can see it. I think
even was it Steve was like maybe they want new ideas.
new ideas. Maybe put the successor on the bench so that when Steve does maybe leave, you have him in house.
Yes.
So we'll see. I think Steve doesn't even know himself what he wants to do.
Yeah.
But like Joseph was saying, like that's the domino right now. That's gonna fall.
Everything. This is basically like the Kaminga thing in a way.
But,
it's like everything is hinging on this one event.
It matters a little more.
Except this won't. Hopefully, will not linger into freaking September.
No, I think Steve's also working on his own time on a timeline where he's like, I have to get this decided so the Warriors can move on or whatever. So, I mean, the Steve thing affects what Draymond does this summer. Does Draymond even like work with the team if Steve's not there? Like, does he actually take the player option or does he explore free? Like, I think a lot is like it's obvious to say that a lot relies on what Steve does here.
Well, and the one thing I will say, I think we said before, all the players want him back.
All the players want him back.
They want him back. Now, who knows in their heart of hearts what they want? But
they had too many nice things to say about him to not want him back. I think also, if you missed it, Draymond said like he doesn't think Steve's coming back.
Yeah, in his podcast, which it's kind of like casually dropped in the middle of the cycle of interview room, people coming in and out. Like, oh,
we passed that phone around when we saw that clip.
Yeah, was it your phone?
It's my phone. It was basically the clip of Draymond saying like it was a sad moment, and I don't know. If I were to read the tea leaves in that situation, I don't know. I don't think he's coming back, which is crazy for him to drop on a podcast.
Yeah, well, he has a podcast.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Like Steve still has a lot to figure out. He's gonna take his time here.
I will say this is my first time doing exit interviews. Same for you.
Yep.
Felt very much like the last day of school.
Warriors PR got us pizza
from Splash. They wanted to know that it's from Splash. Very good pizza.
It was great. It felt like last day of school vibes, man. It was like pizza day. Like we had Joseph brought donuts.
How about donuts from Colonial Donuts?
Yeah,
on Lakeshore Avenue. Get some. I just
What are the next steps here, Joseph?
Next steps. So free agency starts on June 30th. We will probably get leaks about free agency long before that.
Yeah. Draft.
The lottery is May 10th.
9% odds for the Warriors to get a top 4 pick. 77% to stay at 12 or stay at 11, and then the remaining percentage is them falling back to 12. So it's either 11, 12, or top 4. So I think that kind of gives them an idea of where we're going to draft.
We will know 5 seconds into Mark Tatum standing up there and saying, the 12th pick belongs to
blank. And it's not the Warriors.
It's the Thunder.
You should cheer if you're a Warriors fan.
If it's not the Thunder or the Warriors, you're going to start. I mean, there is a chance. There's a small chance, but a chance. It could be Warriors 1, Thunder 2, or vice versa.
To just punish all the tanking.
Which would be insane. Punish all the tanking teams, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard the process for the lottery. You can't fix it. Like, it literally is. Hey, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
The frozen envelope? They don't do the envelope anymore, but remember the frozen envelope, guys. Anyway.
Real quick, what was your favorite part of the season? We'll get more into this in the show that we'll do at some point.
Yeah, we'll figure that
out. Pretty soon. I think probably either later this week or next week.
Yeah, we got vamp this offseason. My favorite moment, I think it's everyone's. It's that Clipper game. Seeing Steph be Steph, seeing Draymond be Draymond, Steve being as happy as a clam on that podium. I thought that was probably the peak of the season. And honestly, the way the season ended is probably for the best. You get the last vintage moment, maybe ever, of the Warriors, and you keep that lottery pick. So that was my favorite moment.
I'm gonna go in a slightly different direction.
Yeah,
it's probably the Denver game.
The first one where
home opener, Aaron Gordon goes for 50 Jokic looks good, although he doesn't shoot great because is playing one of his better defensive games of the year.
Yeah.
Steph goes for 40 something. Jimmy looks good.
We think
Kaminga
Kick
looks
looks
good.
awesome. Al Horford looks
Al
crazy.
Horford played like 25 minutes and was hitting threes. And
Yeah.
that was like oh my gosh, if everything clicks, this is a team that could beat
I think I said
OKC.
to Joseph after that game, I was like, man, maybe King Kaminga will stay and this will be great.
Yeah.
Little did I know.
That was like oh my god, this team might actually be able to do it.
Yeah.
Obviously it didn't happen, but I always thought that like that night of joy, optimism,
Everyone looked
just
good that
happiness.
night. Rose looked good that night. I think Pod looked
yeah.
pretty good that night. Like it was great. It was awesome.
And then I think they beat the Clippers the next night, I want to say, and they held the Clippers
They went 4-1 that week or something.
Yeah, it was like I was like, and then they beat the Grizzlies. I was like, oh, this
before the Grizzlies were trash.
Yeah, they with like John Moran and stuff.
Yeah. So
that was my favorite. Now, obviously, my favorite press conference was probably other than Pat is. I'm gonna curse this one time. The Pat is that motherfucker.
Yeah, that was
one. That was really fun. The We Are Fading Dynasty.
We save it for the awards show.
Save for the awards show. But thank you as always for watching our stuff. You can read me at the Bay Area News Group, which is the San Jose Mercury News, East Bay Times. By the time this is out, I think my story on X interviews will be done. Kenzo, you can read him at
ClutchPoints. Find me on Twitter. I got Valkyrie stuff. We got Valkyrie stuff. That's
probably. So I'll be doing some Giants baseball.
Oh, me too.
Like Dodgers baseball. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
The baseball version of Shohei, not basketball.
Yeah.
For those who know.
Yeah.
But I think sometime maybe Thursday, Friday, we'll try to get that Valkyrie out.
Because training camp hasn't been much yet.
Give him a teaser for what do you think of the first day of training camp? Oakland.
Sounds like Kayla Thorne's going to be ready for the regular season. Natalie said she'll be nicer to the media, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they seem ready to go. I think we haven't gone too much yet because the international players aren't there yet.
Yeah.
But they look locked in. It's fun.
I will say, Janelle Salon not being there, Yuste not being there, a little bit of and Gabby Williams not being there, at least yesterday, was a bit of a downer.
Yeah.
They weren't there today either.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. You go straight from Warriors into Valkyries.
Completely different vibe.
As always, though, this has been the JoJo and Kenzo Courtside Show. We're in the writer's room, so not quite courtside, but pretty close. Anyways, until next time, we will talk to you later.